I'm glad to be back. You know, with y'all here on this platform. Shout out to RealToonTV. And with that being said, peace, family. It's the General Pharaoh. Y'all know I'm rocking High Nation. And you know, I enjoy being on this platform. A very a beautiful array of questions get asked. You know, a lot of great philosophical points get made, and we get to further the development of our psychological architecture, as you call it. You know, the mind. So I'm looking forward to it. You know, from what I've heard before I start, there's going to be some really good questions asked, and I can get, you know, give some really good answers out to the public. Here we go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we're glad to have you back. You know, it was such a successful situation. I see a lot of people making a lot of comments, all in the comment section, about, you know, just, you know, the answers and the information that you gave the last time.
Hey, real tone, there's some real money in the room.
With that being said, like, you seen, like, just for example, Charleston White. You know what I'm saying? The brother Charleston White, like, really out here putting in work, you know, in the community, you know, but controversial and in the same right, you know, depends on who you ask.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna be honest with you, and this might be our first time disagreeing. I don't f with Charleston White at all. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give you all my reasons why, and I've done videos on him all. I'm gonna tell you why I don't f with Charleston White. For one, Charleston White is not putting in no work. Charleston White is coming behind me saying shit that I've been already said. Where the f my thing is this, where the f was Charleston White all of these years when I've been doing what the f I've been doing? I feel like Charleston White is just another charlatan who sees an opportunity to try to get some clout and get some bread off of what is now trending, being woke and being an activist. You wasn't out here in the paint when it counted. You know, you wasn't out here when it was really dangerous. You wasn't out here when the government was, let's not say the government, but when unknown entities was really getting rid of motherfuckers. You wasn't out here. You out here now after the smoke done clear. You know what I'm saying? That's like we fighting in the street. We done went in the house with our battle wounds. Now you out here in the street just telling the kids about how we was out here fighting in the street. But you wasn't out here when we was out here fighting in the street. Don't come over here trying to get no motherfucking clout off no shit you ain't have nothing to do with. And in reality don't want nothing to do with. That's for one. Then for two, he lied and said he met me in Atlanta. I never met him in my life.
Wow.
So I'm like, don't lie and try to include me in your come up, because this the same Nature Boy did, this the same that Rashad Jamal did. Everybody always come next to me or try to get close to me and use me as a way to beam up. Don't come over here trying to do that. And then for three, I don't like that they said he was raping white men and white women, and that he raped girls. You feel me? He done told too many stories where he's admitting the rape. I done played at least 5 different videos of him saying, and I feel like for one, no matter how low down on the white man you may look or think, if you look so down on him, why would you rape him? That's gay. Why would you rape any man? That's gay. You know what I'm saying? If we get it in the back room that we really don't like, it's a lot of things I might pull out, but my penis will never come out. You know? So I feel like don't try to excuse no gay because you saying it's a white man. Like I would care. Like, so if I walked in this room and since you raping a white man, you don't think I would say, what the f is you doing? You know, you think I'd be like, oh, that's okay because it's a white man. No, I would still be like, what the fuck is you doing? That's gay. Shot. You feel me? So I'm like, don't say that. Then he said they rape white women. I don't rape no woman. So I'm not approving of that just because you saying they white. I'm not approving of that. You know, you couldn't roll with me. You couldn't be on my squad. If I was going to a foreign place, I wouldn't bring you. Then he made another video about, yeah, I dropped roofie in her drink. So it's like, you didn't put a Rick Ross, you didn't drop something in the drink and ran. And so I'm just like, your character is f***ed up. Yeah. Your character is f***ed up. And then another thing I don't like about him, I feel like he seen me get into it with it from Chicago, and then he just started trolling Chicago. Like he made a video where to me he was doing too much. He didn't cock the hammer on some from Chicago during the interview, but then he knew he was wrong because in another interview later he tried to say, oh, you know it was fake because I cocked the hammer twice. But I'm like, nigga, you ain't cocked the hammer twice. You cocked it once. I seen it. We all seen it. I did a whole review, how I always do. So I'm just like, to me, that's a dangerous. Like Charleston White remind me of one of them old who just instigate young to fight all day, you know, or just like, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like he might seem solid if you're looking at him from a certain perspective. Anybody would, you know? But you got to look at what the has this man done before he got up in your face talking to you, you know? Anybody could talk good, but the point is, what the all have you done in your life before you got up in your face talking to me about what the fuck I should do with my mother life, you know? I ain't never raped nobody, let alone bragged about raping nobody. I ain't never raped no woman, nor raped no man, nor been raped by no woman or no man. Like, so that right there automatically, like that, I wouldn't want my son alone in a room with no man that would rape, you know?
Yeah, facts.
I wouldn't leave my son with Charleston White. Who's to say what the fuck you would do to my son if you get an attitude that day? You know? It's like if a bitch be spiteful and do some grimy shit, imagine what a gay nigga would do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just feel like everybody gets spiteful and do grimy shit, but what really do you do? So you telling me that you would get mad enough to sexually abuse somebody, Charleston White? Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, I'm not jacking that. Then I'm like, he keep trolling niggas. And like, one thing about being in gangs, like, I don't never heckle that, because I was in the gang when I was a kid. You know, whether I knew better or not, I still can understand the concept of family and watching them damn police. You know what I'm saying? The way they supposed to be. But for the most part, I don't heckle motherfuckers. Like, I let motherfuckers know I'm not in the streets, I'm just passing through. You can say what you want to say. I'm a dad first. And, you know, I changed my life, but I ain't no. But I'm just passing through, but I don't heckle motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? I don't talk to motherfuckers. I ain't just gonna let the police do you dirty for no reason if I see it. But I'm like, you going out here intentionally talking shit about motherfuckers. You talking shit about dead people that you don't got nothing to do with. It's like, you would be too dangerous to stand by. Like, even if, I ain't saying I would do something to Charleston White, but I don't want to be by you. Like, you the type of bullets that get to flying at. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm hit, we hit because you doing too much. So I feel like a nigga like that, I would never want to be around a nigga like that. I would never want to, if I could help it. You know what I'm saying? I would never want to be around a nigga like that.
Sometimes he say it's like he playing the role of a character. Like, this is just the internet. But it's just like...
No, you're not. That's an excuse. That's an excuse. Why would you as a grown man play the role of a mischievous character? I'm gonna tell you something right now when you put it together. I got a cousin right now. Allegedly, my cousin abused my sister when we was younger. I never found out until now that we grown. But I tell you what, when I was a kid, I probably was like 8 or 9 or 10. This had to be like 15 or 16, maybe 14. But he had me by at least 4 years. But I remember this used to, and you take this as you want to, but I swear to God on my life, this always used to tell me he was Loki, like Thor, brother, like, you know, Loki and Thor. He used to always tell me that he was Loki, and he used to always tell me that I should join the Freemasons. I swear to God on my life. Yeah. So I said to say this, like, that was well aware. Like, why would you choose to be, even whether you in your mind did or did not believe you was Loki, why would you choose to accept the character of a mischievous motherfucker like that, you know? So when it comes to, you know, Charleston White, it's like, even if you say you playing the character, why would you play the role of like a that's instigating death? You know?
Yeah. Why
would you play the role of a, out of all the characters you could play in your life, why would you intentionally play the role of somebody that could cause somebody to lose their life? And you on the internet, so let's just be honest, we know the whole world watching when some go on the internet. We know the whole world watching. The whole world watching. So I could, you know, I'm not going to influence you to do some shit that I know is bad for you or detrimental to you on the level where you going to be fucking dead, you know? Or somebody going to die behind what the fuck I'm saying or doing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to influence you like that intention. Like, not what the fuck he doing, you know? I'm going to tell you to defend yourself for something that's right, but I ain't going to tell you, I'm not going to be out here getting to fight, talking about that's dead. You know, like, you too grown. It's like, you too old. It's just like, you too old.
Do you think he could ever reconcile from this, say, persona that he puts on and, like, change that whole narrative around?
No, like, that admitted to sexual assault. How you gonna reconcile that? Like, you done got on the internet and said I rape white men and women. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if a mob of white men grabbed that motherfucker and dragged his ass off. You feel me? Like, I love black people. I ain't just go, but like I said, I love black people. But if I was walking up the streets and I saw a group of white men grab Charleston White and put his in the truck, I ain't helping that motherfucker. Like, you got on the internet and said I rape He said, man, we rape white men and rape white women. That's what we used to do. Like, after, from right then and there, what? Yeah. Like, get the out of here. Like, what?
He recently got into it with China Mac, the guy out of New York. And
but why you even talking to China Mac? That's the thing. You from down here somewhere. I'm from New York. Yeah. I ain't even get to talk to China Mac about shit. Not saying we would argue, not saying we not, but I ain't even get to talk to China Mac, and I'm from Buffalo. You way the from down here. Yeah. How was you arguing with from Chicago? How was you arguing with from New York? That's what I'm saying. Like, Charleston White is the type of that'll start a riot in the jail. I'm telling you right now, Charleston White is the type of that'll go in the jail and it'll be a riot, because this, I'm telling you, I just seen it. A old ass goofy misinfluencing.
He might hit this and he may do a rebuttal video though.
I don't give a fuck if he do. Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'll blow Charleston White away. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna argue with him. I don't give a fuck what he say about me. I ain't gonna argue with you. You would just have to do it when you see me. So, you would have to do it. Ain't gonna be no 911. Ain't gonna be that. I beat him through Charleston White and some and broke his neck like metal, like Snake on Metal Gear. So, you would have to have it on you when you see me, because I be there broke both your arms. But long story short, I don't want no problems with Charleston White. I'm just keeping it real. I don't want to be by no that will open. If you comfortable enough to openly say I raped a man and raped a woman, so what?
What if he was just saying it just to say it?
It was dead ass serious. Yeah. He was dead ass serious. He was dead ass serious. Oh, he was dead ass serious. Then when he said he put the drug in that girl cup and he raped that girl, he was dead ass serious when he said that. He was dead ass serious when he said I advocate for rape. He was like, I believe women should be raped. He was dead ass. Like, it's like, I wouldn't, like I said, the way I view people is like if I was on my deathbed and you had to adopt my daughter, no, some way, somehow I have to get off my deathbed. Like, I would not trust my kids with Charleston White, even though he's black. You know, to the no. Because whether you, like I said, it's just certain ways you don't play. You know? I don't play gay, and I don't play sex abuser.
Yeah, for real.
I don't play them roles. Like, I remember even as a kid, like, them roles is so critical. Tell me I'm lying. Them roles is so critical as a kid. Be honest, how many actors we grew up not liking because we seen them do some shit in the movie and we ain't realized that shit was a movie?
Yeah.
I didn't see it. I'm telling you, it's a lot of actors in my mind.
Yeah, sometimes I'm just crossing off the list every time I see it. Like,
you got to tell you, it's a lot of shit I had to grow up and say that shit was just a movie. Because I remember I really ain't like that motherfucker off of that. But you don't know, so I felt like it's roles that a grown adult could or could not play because it would affect their image as an adult. And they know this and they getting paid to do this. So why would you for free say that? You know, and f your image up. But then you supposed to be talking about you out here talking to the people and to the youth like, don't nobody want no rapists talking. Even in war, is rules. Like, if we raise some shit in war, you can't rape no goddamn woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got grimy generals and grimy motherfuckers that'll let you do it, but in reality, you ain't supposed to do that. Like, it's rules. Like, let's say we raised some shit back in the day, even still today, but let's say we raised some shit and the men like, yo, listen, we don't really want to fight. We gonna surrender. You supposed to let them still rock. You feel what I'm saying? You supposed to still let them rock. You ain't supposed to be raping they women. You ain't supposed to be raping niggas' wives. Like, even in the Constitution, that's what the Second Amendment is for, so the military cannot occupy your shit without your permission.
Even within war, rules of engagement.
Yeah, so this just, like I said, this just got up there and just said some that to get it. I don't go how high of a military general you is. You get up there and say that. Get up there and say that. Get up there on CNN and say that. Yeah, we just came from Afghanistan and we was raping men and women over there. To be out of here.
Playing or not.
Yeah, playing or not, you will be out of here. Because this motherfucker really getting raped at gunpoint. You feel me? By soldiers and all kind of. And I'm like, you done got up here and said that. Not just one time, but about 5 times on different occasions.
Yes. Not
even in one interview. So it's like, you ain't playing. Hell no, you can't be by me. Like I said, I wouldn't even want to be by that because I wouldn't want somebody to get to shoot that and that hit me. Like, don't even be like a like Charleston White. I would just intentionally avoid this. If I knew he was gonna be here, I'd go over there. Like, it ain't even about I'm scared of him. It's just like, you the type of, like I said, I know Charleston White. He the type of that'll get you killed for being by this motherfucker. Because you never know who about to shoot at this. He the type of that'll get you fucked up in jail. Like, you don't sit at no table with Charleston White and eat even across from the. Yeah. I'm telling you.
You think he didn't accepted that fate? You know, just, you know, playing that role.
I think that was a nobody and his life was boring. I'm going to be honest with you. And some people, they don't give a fuck if you kill them. They ain't got shit to lose anyway. That's true.
That's true.
It's like if you a lame, you living at the bottom of society, you old as hell, broke as hell, you ain't get no and your rate to go up, and you will get a little attention if you just heckle motherfuckers all day and hide behind the police. A lot of motherfuckers, why you think people bother celebrities and troll celebrities? You feel what I'm saying? So I feel like he don't give a fuck if you kill him, because in reality, he probably don't like his life anyway. You know? He probably don't value his life anyway. You know? He probably don't value his life anyway. But my thing is, that's fine if you don't value your life, but don't do that. Like, don't be over here saying you rape white men and you rape white women, and then you want to run to the black community and talk about them thinking we gonna shield you, but then you want to come over here and say that you openly drop drugs in a black woman's drink and raped her, but then catch you in the parking lot and now you want to call the white man. You feel me? Don't do that. Pick a side. Pick a side. Don't come over here talking shit about over there, then go up over there talking shit about over here, and now you playing both sides. Don't ask for black women to help you when you saying that you dropping roofies and drinks and raping them. You feel me? Don't ask for no white man to help you when you out here inciting. Crips and Bloods ain't even out here probably bothering each other the way you trying to bother them. You know what I'm saying? But then you want to call the government. But then on the other half, you want to come over here and then say, hey, we grew up raping white men and white women. It's like, you know. Yeah. Like, you got to go. He got to find somewhere to be. Like I said, to be honest, this is why I don't really go in this, because it's like the black community just let anybody in there. I ain't gonna lie, like, they just let anybody get up on that mic and start talking. Like, you ain't, man, they'll let anybody get up there. Because I just feel like, how the did he get up there? That's all I can ask myself is, how the did this get up there, man? How the did he get up there? That's all I can say.
It's kind of like a person that just say what a lot of people probably think, but just he just got the cojones to say it out loud. But
right.
I guess that's what it is. But man, you know, you think that's a fault of the black race, like just being almost gullible to a degree.
I don't know why we put down the people that we should put up and put up the people that we should put down. It's almost as if this shit is being done intentionally. Like, at this point in my life, I believe we ain't doing this shit. Like, I ain't doing it. Is you doing it? She ain't doing it.
Nope.
So it's somebody doing it. You know what I mean? But it ain't me. It ain't us. But I just feel like he would have, had I had the power at the time, he would have never made it up there. I would have shot that motherfucker down on the way up. That motherfucker would have never got one view. And I would have had the power, I would have slapped that down the first. Like, don't you ever get up here trying to speak on our behalf and you a rapist, a openly admitted rapist.
Well, he could talk with the best of them.
I don't give a...
He got a good...
A lot of niggas in the world got a nice mouthpiece. You ever been to a dice game? You know what I'm saying? There a dominoes game. You can go anywhere in the urban community around the world. It's
Back with young Pharaoh, we was talking about Charleston White. Him and China Mac got into it, and in his rebuttal, he came back and was basically saying that, you know, he don't care if an Asian baby get raped. You know, he don't care if they get killed. Just like, you know, he kind of referred it to like how when black babies and black people get killed, you know, that was his justification for saying that. What do you think? You know, your thoughts on...
I'm going to tell y'all the same I said on Twitch. And once again, for those of you that's wondering where I'm at on YouTube, I'm not on YouTube. I'm on Twitch at Young Pharaoh Inc., man. But long story short, I don't think no child should be raped, regardless of the race or whatever the I don't even think an animal child should be like, just if you in a, nothing should be abused. You shouldn't be abusing no living organism of no species. But long story short, it's like, how sick in your mind do you gotta be to say something like that? And don't say you playing because you ain't playing. Who the f play like that? But it's just like, my thing is, as I stated, you know, while we was waiting to shake back, the community got, especially, and I'm speaking on the black community because I'm black. The black community got to stop being so fast to accept any and every person that they get up there and say something bad about that white man. It's like y'all be so eager and happy to see somebody yell and cuss about the white man in the white community. Y'all forgetting to background check these motherfuckers. You just letting anybody get up there and say anything. And it's like, why did nobody ask who the fuck Charleston White really was and what the fuck has he done in his life? You know what I'm saying? It ain't no telling how many people Charleston White did rape. It ain't no telling how many times or how old these people have been that he have raped. It's like, this is a creepy ass dude. I would not want my children around Charleston White. I wouldn't let that motherfucker say one word to one of my daughters. I wouldn't let that motherfucker say one word. So I'm just like, another thing is like, Kim Jong-un hear that shit or Gigi hear that shit and they shoot your ass. I'm not going to say a goddamn thing to Charleston White. It's just like, dog, you barking up the wrong trees that you don't want to be barking up. You know what I'm saying? You be done said that shit and went to Thailand and it never came back. Yeah. But it's just like, why are you saying that as a black man? Because what had happened is you would want the whole community to get behind you, but in reality, I don't feel like that. And don't think that I don't know that Chinese people or Asian people have committed brutalities against my people, whether it be past or present or future. But the point is, we trying to fight against corruption, yeah. But I ain't trying to rape nobody in my fight. My fight does not my fight. No matter how many damn weapons or maneuvers or styles I may come with, rape is never one of them. So I just feel like, don't say that, because what the f happen if China want to respond to that, or Thailand? It's like, hey, when you say Asian, you know how many different countries you involve in? Like, just Chinatown in your local city. Like, Japan could hear that, Korea could hear that, Vietnam could hear that, Thailand could hear that, the Philippines could hear that. Need I go on? So it's just like, what if one of them say, we want to go to war with y'all niggas in America about what the f he just said? Now you want me to go to war for not only a nigga I don't know, but a nigga who beliefs and views I don't believe in, and you did that wrong? And then it's like, if we let them just snatch your ass, then what would you say? You would say that I'm trading on my race? Nah. Like that. You know, that's why I rock this hat. And I'm like, nigga, before I get his hat out and I start building my shit, I gotta see a motherfucking character first. Because you ain't gonna do no shit underneath this umbrella that's just extremely ridiculous like that. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, a nigga, like, before we go into the next subject, I'm going to say, I said it before, I'm going to say it again. I done seen Charleston White type 10 times over. He the type of nigga that to start a war. He old, he bored, he ain't never got this much attention in his life. Got his first piece of jewelry. You know what I'm saying? That nigga is like, he's an old man living a 16-year-old's fantasy right now. And he's saying I'm telling you, he's saying anything and everything out of his mouth. You know, because he don't give a f anyway. You know what I'm saying? He know he ready to croak anyway. I'm telling you, he living the 16-year-old's dream right now. So it's like, he's dangerous right now. You know what I'm saying? A nigga like that can't watch his mouth when he's sober, let alone when he's drunk. Like, he doesn't represent me. That's all I'm going to say. And like I said, the same way I said if I see a white man grab that motherfucker, it's the same thing I'm going to say if I see an Asian man grab that motherfucker. I'm surprised he ain't started talking shit about Hispanics yet.
Yeah, I don't think he spared nobody, but I don't think he really got down on him.
And then Charleston White better stop playing, man. That better stop playing. Especially like I said, I don't ride nobody, but I done been around. Man, Charleston White went to New York and got f***ed up. It's Spanish that could fight. Yeah. It's Spanish that could fight. Like, don't get it f***ed up. Like, my main thing is you could talk shit, but respect will come with it. You know, and don't expect me to jump in. Like, you talking all of this shit about New York, you went to the wrong parade in New York. The Patiaza got his the Trinitarios would be then got his ass. And then you would be looking at me like, why you ain't jumping in? I ain't fighting them boys over that. I ain't jumping in over that. So I feel like you starting with Chicago, you starting with everybody. And then it's like you ain't even just starting with cities, you starting with gangs within these cities, and then these gangs branch out nationwide.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He trying to do like doing stand-up comedy. So that means you gonna be out on the road.
Man, that like I said, you be the went to one of his shows. If you get hit with a straight bullet, only blame yourself. I would never go to a Charleston White show. I wouldn't give a fuck if I did genuinely like him. I wouldn't go because it's just a matter of time for his to get shot. It's just a matter of time. Like I said, he talking shit about everybody from the police to the gang. Like that must not want to be able to live nowhere in the world.
Yeah.
Like he must not want to be able to live nowhere in the world. You don't get like, I don't know, it's crazy, but it is what it is. Go ahead.
Yeah, for real. Hold on a second. Last point on Charleston going back and forth with Jay Prince Sr. Do you think, now that you done, touch Houston grounds, do you think that was just a wise move for him? Knowing, even if we don't know exactly what Jay Prince Sr. has done, but just the respect level that he garners in Houston alone, do you think that was a wise move for Charleston White?
I'm going to tell you no, and I'm going to tell you why. Same thing I just said. And I don't know Jay Prince personally. I don't know his strength or I don't know his pull ability or not. And I ain't here to test it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just living my life and worried about the pull strength that I got. But long story short, I just feel like Charleston White must don't want to be able to live nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I'm going to bring up DJ Academics, right? And this ain't no shot at DJ Academics. I ain't trying to bark on DJ Academics because to me, I don't see DJ Academics as a street at all. Yeah. So me beefing with DJ Academics, I actually would. Somebody would probably say I'm bullying DJ Academics.
Yeah, he would probably say it.
But this ain't no disrespect to him. I'm just saying. But also, DJ Academics got to take into account he became famous doing the same Charleston White doing, barking up other trees that don't got to do with his. So now I said to say this, at least DJ Academics was smart enough to only talk about Chicago shit and not make it hot to where he lived. Charleston White live here in Texas. You live here. So it's like not only is you starting with everybody from every nation around the world and every country around the world, now you starting with people in your home state. So it's like at least, like I said, with DJ Academics, he was minding Chicago's people business, but wherever, I don't know where he lived, but whatever the fuck he lived, he ain't report on that. He was smart enough to at least let his local area be comfortable enough for him to walk around. Charleston White not gonna stop till he can't come out the house. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so you talking about Jay Prince, so whatever the come with that, come with that. You talking about some in Dallas, so whatever come with that, come with that. And then you saying you rape white people like Abbott ain't white. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't like nigga, you say that shit go like, you know what I'm saying? It's like nigga, it's not smart. It obviously is not smart, but like I said, to me, Charleston White is an old man who never got no type of attention the way he liked in his life. He trying to jump on the wave and reap the attention benefits that he think come with this since it became a trend out of nowhere. And like I said before, I'm going to say it again, however old he is, he living a 15, 16-year-old's dream right now.
Angel Reese, LSU basketball lady, the player,
yes, sir.
That they just won a national championship. So they had a little situation at the end of the game when they won. It was a taunting situation where the LSU player just, what I would call just everyday jargon in between the lines of sports. Mm-hmm. So, but it was blown out of proportion, and a lot of white commentators, a lot of white, I don't want to say celebrities, but a lot of white figures spoke out and, called her classless and, really even called out her name in some situations. So just wanted to know what your thoughts on, that whole situation with LSU basketball.
I feel like, no disrespect, but I say that, me personally, one thing that I like for people to know about me, because once again, this is not my platform, so some of you may be new to me. You may not be a follower of mine. And if so, if you're looking to hear more of me, y'all know I'm the #1 investigative journalist in the country. You feel me? Especially being a black man. And I was on YouTube. I had millions of followers. I got canceled from CPAC, CNN, all kind of stuff. My YouTube got took down. So long story short, I'm on Twitch now at Young Pharaoh Inc. And I said to say this, I like to speak from personal experience. So me being a fighter with a 7-1 record, being 1-0 in Muay Thai and 6-1 in K1 kickboxing, I'm going to tell you right now, white people definitely taunt at them fights. Whether you taunting or not, it don't matter. They definitely, talk shit. They use racist slurs. I done been walking to the stage before and had all kind of shit yelled at me. I done been walking from the ring before and had all kind of shit yelled at me. You know what I'm saying? But I also get a lot of love, so, from white people in the crowds too. So like I said, I ain't going to say the whole crowd racist, but for the most part, I feel like that shit is not fair, because when black people turn up and we celebrate our natural talents, gifts, and achievements, it's like they always want to try to discourage us or turn our volume down or make us not feel like we got to be, turned up. But they get turned the fuck up. They could be cheating and be dead, get turned up about a victory. Tyson Fury got turned up about 2 fights that his cheated to win and was taunting. You know what I'm saying? And you cheated. So if anybody could taunt, let it that one fair and square taunt, not a cheater. So I said that to say, if they ain't got shit to say about Tyson Fury cheating Deontay Wilder 2 times, they shouldn't have shit to say about this black woman dominating on the court. She dominating on the court. I feel like sports these days, excuse my language, sports these days is watered down. This is why me personally, I don't watch them or participate in this, because they watered down. You know what I'm saying? Even in football, you can't hit the quarterback no more. Yeah. So I feel like as soft as basketball is these days, you know what I'm saying, no disrespect, the least we should be able to do is watch players talk to each other. I feel like as long as ain't nobody bringing up nobody personal life, you should be able to let it fly. That's right or wrong. As long as you ain't bringing up nobody personal life, they family, they mamas, they dead, or none of that, we should be able to get on the court and be like, back the up. When you shoot that 3, it's another thing I'm going to say I disagree with that. It's another thing I'm going to say I disagree with. That, I'm going to bring up, even though you didn't bring it up. People throwing flags or getting penalized for celebrations. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing that's, no disrespect. That's to me. Let a motherfucker spike the ball. Let a motherfucker get it out. That's how you gaffer. Like that's all a part of morale. That's all you know what I'm saying, nigga. We might have been losing and I caught the game saving interception. I might be turned right there. Now you trying to turn me down and throw a flag. Like, what kind of is that? Yes. You know what I'm saying? The only thing the refs should be doing in any situation, or the only thing the commissioners or the officials or the judges or whoever is in that administrative hierarchy, the only thing they should be doing is making sure ain't nobody getting drugged before the games. No matter what game it is, nobody's getting drugged before the game, and ain't nobody doing no illegal dirty hits, dirty elbows, but other than that, you know what I'm saying? Last time I checked in basketball, whether it was men's or women, you should be able to put your chest on somebody. You should be able to give them a little bump. You should be able to talk a little. Like I said, that black girl out there dominating, I'm proud of it. And it gives me like Serena Williams energy when she had her father in her life. Yeah, I don't got a problem with it. They do, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, they do it. Yeah. They do it. What's the difference between what the she doing and what the people do on wrestling, except wrestling is fake, so they say. And the body slam you and taunt on wrestling, and the ref won't say calm down. You know what I'm saying? So why you can't lay it up on them? It's just like, man, wrestling wouldn't even be what it is if it wasn't for taunts and celebrations. That's the whole point of wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Taunts and celebrations. So it's like, why is this a problem in basketball? That's true.
At the end of that game, even though LSU pulled out the victory with a blowout, really, the First Lady, Jill Biden, invited the losers team, Iowa, to the White House as well, when that was never in history that has ever been done. It's usually the winner get invited. So Angel Reese took it upon herself and said she would rather go see the Obamas instead of go to the White House. She said it was a joke, actually.
Right, 50% I respect, that 50% I don't. And I'm going to tell you what, I mean, I respect her 50% of declining the Biden's offer to go to the White House, because whether the Biden's offer to go to the White House was genuine or not, the Bidens did so much damage to the black community. It's like, why would you accept that invite? Even if the Bidens were saying, you know, we having a genuine reconciliation, the heart is like, they did so much damage, you know what I'm saying? And then Joe Biden got that going on that I discovered with his daughters. They just would be bad to go over there. You know, that crime, it just would be bad to go over there. And the 50% I don't is because her reasoning for not going over there is her choosing somebody else who was destructive to the black community, if not maybe more, if not equivalent, then more so, which would be Barack Obama. Like, Barack Obama is the reason for all of this LGBTQ. A lot of y'all don't know he was a homosexual. He was having a sexual affair with Larry St. Clair, who was a white man. You know what I'm saying? They was doing cocaine in a hotel. During the Obama administration, more black people was killed by the goddamn police than y'all say racist white people killed us during the worst years of Jim Crow. So you know what I'm saying? It's like at one end she looking at Biden and them like they racist, but Obama is the one that killed all the black people, and if he ain't kill us all, he turned us all gay. So you know what I'm saying? The problems that you have in the day, men fighting in these sports leagues, men going in women's bathrooms, raping them, and just, you know, we trying to fight to keep the LGBTQ up off our kids. That shit was started by the same men's pedo advocacy group, National Association for Man Boy Love. The same man who started the LGBTQ. And Black Lives Matter is not for heterosexual men, it's for transsexual men and transsexual women. So that's like a black version of the LGBTQ, and all of this shit is funded by George Soros, who's definitely a terrorist. So I said to say all of that come through Obama. Then you got Obamagate. You know what I'm saying? Human trade. Just a lot of shit that come with Obama, you know what I'm saying, versus Biden. So it's like, you know, you may actually be declining somebody that might even have been a better look, even though we got a lot of shit going on than what it would be with Obama. I don't know, like I said, but then then Joe Biden is involved in human trafficking and all that shit going on in the Ukraine. So like I said, she should have just denied both. If I was her, I would have said, respectfully, I don't want to come with you, and respectfully, I don't want to come with you. That's what she should have did.
To kind of piggyback off that scenario, so do you think this is the reason why they are putting a lot of pressure on Trump?
Oh, definitely. They trying to.
Right now, he's been convicted of possibly 100 and something.
Well, he's being allegedly indicted, but DA Bragg, who I believe is if not the head DA, he's the assistant DA. But I said that's important because if he's not the head DA, then the head DA had to sign off on that indictment, which means they both actually should be disbarred. But long story short, the indictment against Trump is defective because, for one, it doesn't actually state any real allegations. And if two, you got to afford Trump the ability to defend himself. You got the Sixth Amendment, the right to confront your accuser. That this ties in with the Fifth Amendment, your right to due process, and this goes into the 14th and the 8th Amendments, etc. So long story short, they violated his due process the same way my due process was violated in my case, and that's when the district attorney does not inform you that they actually trying to seek a true bill from you. It's called a true bill when they get an indictment. So, you know, you have what's called a grand jury proceedings where you have 32, let's say, locals on the bench. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And they go in there and the district attorney goes in there with whomever the complainants might be. And they give sworn in testimonies to what it is you did, and the district attorney, and the grand jury tells the district attorney, okay, we give you the power to indict this person. But during these proceedings, the district attorney is mandatory that he lets you know that this is going on, and he has to show proof in court that he even gave you the chance to be there. So if he came to your house, he got to show that. He just like when Amazon come to your house or FedEx and you gone and they leave something on your door and be like, come pick your shit up at the thing. At least they let you know they was there.
That's right.
Right. So he still got to leave some kind of proof to let you know he was there, and he got to keep a copy of it in the office to present it to the court. Now, if that don't happen, then he mail it. He got to keep a copy of the certified mail receipt to show that he mailed it. If you in jail, he got to have it delivered to your cell or wherever you being housed, and keep a copy and show that he delivered it to you. So that, I guarantee you, that was never done. On top of the fact, you know what I'm saying, it's defective, and then the judge got to approve it, get it in front of him as well, and then the judge got to check what's called court minutes, because the judge is supposed to actually double check to make sure the grand jury is doing their job. It's like in school, the principal don't just get the kids in trouble, they get the teachers in trouble too when they not doing their job.
That's facts.
You feel me? So think of the judge like a principal in the courtroom. It's like your ass ain't just in trouble, your ass is in trouble too. Because you got cases where a motherfucker might have really been dead wrong, but they still could beat it because the police did not follow proper procedure or protocol.
Gotcha.
So in this case, I guarantee you they didn't tell Trump that they was doing this. Or they didn't even afford him the chance to be there to defend himself. The bill is straight defective, and then on top of the fact it doesn't allege any actual crimes. And then this district attorney is being backed by George Soros, who's the same person that's backing all of these other organizations we just mentioned in the beginning. So at the minimum, that's prosecutorial misconduct and prosecutorial maliciousness. So that's straight right there grounds to get him disbarred. He'll never practice law again in nowhere in the world.
Gotcha. So you in your situation, in your opinion, you would be surprised if Trump did a day in jail?
Well, I would be surprised if that. I wouldn't be, because we know the courts is corrupt. You know what I'm saying? They don't give a. It ain't about that. Because if it wasn't corrupt, I would have never did it. I was straight told to my face, if it wasn't for election time, yo would have never went to jail for this. Like, so really, this should be about. Yeah, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. That's how I got to follow in the elections.
All right, you gonna elaborate on that?
I ain't gonna. Well, yeah, I mean, I was told by some attorneys, and I was told by a couple of Freemasons that I know as I was, cause I ain't gonna hold you up. Like, when you moving through the jail, most of the time the jail motherfuckers be Freemasons, or they be connected to that shit. It don't matter if you black, white, Spanish, or Asian. Like, they, you know what I'm saying? It's just like I said. I ain't encouraging nobody to go to jail, but it's just it's like it's politics. It's shit up in the prisons. So long story short, me not only being the best attorney, you know what I'm saying, but also speaking to attorneys or sheriffs, you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, you might be in jail for something, but like everybody in the world might look at the police and be like, the police, right? But in reality, I don't know where that narrative come from besides TV, because in reality, when you get to prison or jail, a lot of the police don't give a like, they don't know you. You know what I'm saying? They just trying to do their job and go the fuck home. They don't give a
Yeah.
So on top of that, some of them be lawyers, you know what I'm saying? Like, that might be a second job. Some of them have family that's lawyers. Like, some of them be in the military. You never know who the you will run into in the jail. Let's just be honest. So even when you go to prison, it ain't like you picking which prison you going in. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, you just getting shipped somewhere. You don't, like I say, you don't know if on your first day there it's a riot. You then came in and the whole jail is in a state of a riot. So you never know. But long story short, yeah, I had a couple of Freemasons and I had a couple of sheriffs tell me, like, yo, basically, like, yo, they f***ed you over, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if it wasn't for election time, your ass would have never went to jail for this.
Wow.
I ain't gonna lie, I took my case to somebody that I know name well. He was a real close attorney to my peoples. His name was Mike D'Amico. Mike D'Amico told me that, but he ain't take my case. But Mike D'Amico told me, I had to get it in this file on my own. But long story short, it was another white woman. She ain't told me that her name was Kathy. She used to knock down robberies. But long story short, yeah, Mike D'Amico told me too. He was like, man, if this wouldn't have happened during election time, I don't see it. But long story short, that's what even got me following the elections, because I told myself I never go to motherfucking jail again, and I damn sure ain't going to jail around those elections. But that's what even got me paying attention to these elections and what's going on in the courtrooms, because I went to jail during that time. But honestly, I ain't gonna lie, I always been interested in the courts. Like, I remember I used to skip school and go sit in this judge courtroom named Judge McLeod. I used to go sit in this courtroom because I used to just think that was entertaining. But long story short, yeah, it's like if court was actually like how it is on Law and Order, a judge would throw this shit out and disbar that motherfucker and investigate that motherfucker about who the fuck he been getting money from, because obviously this is a political assault. Obviously, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, like, it's obviously.
Facts.
If that's the case, go get Kamala Harris. You know what I'm saying? She locked all them up for weed, but she actually had, like, I don't know if I ain't got it on me now, but last time I brought the joint, I brought the proof.
Yeah, I remember that.
She got that Catholic priest off for sexually abusing them kids. So it's like, why would you? But you got to put the dots together, like, cause I'm the one that caught George Soros. George Soros is human trafficking these kids, and the DA that's backed by George Soros is trying to prosecute a former president that was immediately during his reign went right after human trafficking. So, you know, you gotta put the pieces together. It's all right there, obvious to see. It's all right there. Yeah. You know, it's all right there. Well, it's all right there. And it's a waste of taxpayers' money, so you know what I'm saying?
Facts. We didn't talk, this is our like second time talking, and just talking to you, you could tell you real versed in law. It's like, you know, it's kind of like you can't miss you with certain situations. Even when we was talking about the Tory Lanez situation, and you was explaining how...
Oh, Tory would have beat that. Yeah. If he would have...
I've heard you mention that you are, you know, one of the most powerful attorneys. Do you think that you could, you know, try a case and...
Yeah. Yo, I believe I could go into a courtroom as a public defender and go undefeated all day. That's what I believe. I believe if I randomly went into a courtroom right now and had a lawyer stand next to me and just heard the cases, even if I didn't speak, even if I just told him this was wrong and let him say it, I'll go undefeated all day. And if I truly believe you should cop out, you should cop out. Like, put me at a felony here. Just put me somewhere. And like I said, I got PTSD. I don't like being in the courtroom. Gotcha. But if I was to do it, like, just put me somewhere on a Friday, because most felony hearings is conducted on Friday. Put me in the courtroom on a random Friday. I be then got the whole morning shift shit throughout. That's how nice I think I am. I'm telling you.
So when did you pick up that, you know, like skill, so to speak?
When I was young, when I was like 16, 17, because I was like, shit, if I'm going to be in the streets, which I ain't had no choice, I got to know the law. Yeah. Because them the only motherfuckers you dealing with in the streets is the police. Think about it. You walking around in the street all day, the only motherfucker that's really, I'm talking about deep in the streets, like outside of the inner cities, is the law enforcement and the military. Like when I was a kid, I used to jump on the trains and just ride them for fun. But it's like, think about it, you never know who the you were running to in the back of a train track or the back of a building, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like kids, we go out farther psychologically than we realize we the could go. You know what I'm saying? We'd be in wander somewhere we shouldn't go. So long story short, me personally, I'm outside selling weed and doing what I do. I told myself I gotta know the law. Any charge that I commit, any charge that I'm risking the commission for, I got to know the maximum and minimum penalties of this, and I got to know how to get out of it. You know, like it's some shit on the camera right now. I could tell a how to turn a felony right now to a misdemeanor with a gun, but I ain't gonna say I'm out the streets. I'm not gonna advocate no criminal. Yeah. But like I said, I learned a lot of shit. Like I learned at least at minimum how forensics is supposed to operate. But the most important thing I would say I learned outside of the law is the chain of command. The chain of command is very important. Everything got a chain of command, from the military to the courts operating system to the police, all that. Like the chain of command is so critical. That shit is about more. That shit is near more important. If it's not more important, it's equivalent to the fruit of the poisonous tree. When you find something in violation of that Fourth Amendment, because 9 times out of 10, any constitution that's violated is violated because somebody broke that chain of command. You know, like I had an issue in my case when I my judge up, I had 13 grounds. You feel me? All stuck. I ain't gonna say I blew. I got robbed at trial when I put in a 330-30 motion and got my guilty conviction overturned 2 weeks after I got found guilty in trial on 13 grounds, and went right back in there on my judge. And I ended up writing my judge and my DA up to the Bar Association. But long story short, one of the issues in my case was not only was the chain of command established between the officers and forensics, somebody signed the goddamn gun out the evidence room and took it God knows where.
What?
Yeah, and everybody confirmed that it was an unknown signature, but it's like that's all the way out of the chain of command. So like I said, even even the way evidence is handled is grounds for a case to get thrown out, you know?
Gotcha.
If the police pick you up with something and CSI don't come on the crime scene, that right there is improper procedure. That right there is violation of due process. That right there is grounds to get a goddamn case thrown out, you know?
Kicking it here with young Pharaoh, back on RealToonTV again. Just going over some things that's going on with, you know, with the world. And everything kind of like flipped upside down, like, you know, the people that was considered conspiracy theorists nowadays, you know, kind of got a little validation with just the way, you know, the chain of events that's been going on all around the world. So with that being said, man, like the government has recently issued out the chief at the Pentagon said there's a possible mothership in our solar system. You know, government and it reported over 350 sightings, you know, just in the United States alone. So what do you know, we're trying to get your opinion on, you know, the state of affairs what's going on today. Then why now? You know what I'm saying? Why they even disclosing this information? In your opinion, what you think going on?
You know, well, myself and a lot of people have had a huge hand to play in this type of thing. You know, this type of situation. You got people like Stephen Greer, who did a disclosure project in 2001 that got no media coverage. You know, Robert Steele, just a lot of people, you know, that played such a huge role. But in reality, I feel like I made a decision a couple years ago, you know, that directly lifted the veil and allowed people to see a lot of things, so the government kind of had no choice but to acknowledge, you know, that we all just clearly seen. And then for two, you know, my main thing is, you know, that I want people to understand is like the government is just now telling us something, but who knows in reality if the time is actually precise. You know, they could say something's just now in our solar system that could have been there. You know, who the is you? How the do we know? You know, we just have to take your word for it, like we take their word for everything. But in reality, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It could have just came, it could have been here, but I know whatever it is, you know, to me, I feel it's been there. I feel it's been there, and it was just unable to actually see into the planet until now. You know, it had to have a foot. Like, you know how some people say, in order to see the whole field, you got to have a bird's eye view. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But you could just block the bird out by covering yourself. You feel me? But when the veil got snatched real quick, that bird was able to say, oh, your is right there and you right, you know, lock in. Everybody could be properly targeted and locked in for who should be properly targeted. But long story short, I just feel like, you know, we all know extraterrestrials is real, because no disrespect, you know, I'm black and I'm not racist, but I look at white people every day and I know for a fact if somebody is an alien, it's they. You know what I'm saying? I just know that. You know what I'm saying? Out of all, if it's different species of cats and it's different species of humanoids, we all aliens, you know. But long story short, I feel like the real question is not who's malevolent in our solar system, but who's malevolent on our planet. You know what I'm saying? Because whatever it is, if it ain't attacked us yet or fucked us up, and it clearly could, then it ain't that much of a threat. The threat is, you know what I'm saying? It's like, should I be more afraid of getting my ass whooped by some police, or am I more afraid of getting attacked by an alien? In reality, I'm more afraid of getting my ass whooped by some police. You know what I'm saying? In reality, let's just be honest. Is I'm more afraid of an extraterrestrial than I am a crooked judge or a DA? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. So it's just like, you know, I just want people to know it is some shit up there. It's shit in the ground. It's shit all in the oceans. It's shit all everywhere. But at the end of the day, now that you know the answer to questions you've been dying, and you realize whether you wanted to do something or not, your ass can't. Now what? Life goes on. You know what I'm saying? I've been knowing this since I was a kid. People think I've been lying. I've been abducted like 7 times. So I say that to say a lot of people know, whether it be police, military, like I said, the police and the military, outside of citizens and people, y'all don't know what the they see and what they deal with. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, life goes on. Aliens is real. What you gonna do? You got rent. You know what I'm saying? You got bills to pay. What we gonna do? So it's just like, you know, I feel like outside of properly contributing to the planet as far as making it more peaceful, so that way we can contact higher levels of extraterrestrials, is really nothing the average person could do, you know. So that's really where we at now. Like, the planet has become so barbaric that more intellectual beings don't want to deal with us. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like all we can do now is this shit everybody been telling us to do: be more peaceful and be more loving and be more kind, and you know, cease and desist the destruction of nature immediately. You know, or the Creator gonna see it, and whoever is contributing to the destruction of nature, you know, you gonna reap what you sow. Other than that, I don't really know what to tell people, you know. I don't really know what to tell people. I'm doing the best I could. We all doing the best we could, but shit, if everybody don't play a role in it, it'll never get done.
Gotcha.
There's just nothing else to say. If everybody don't play a role in it, it'll never get done, and that's it.
Well, you mentioned that you got abducted 7 times. Like, it's obvious that, you know, you garner attention. You know, a lot of people like attract to you. Like, since you've been doing the YouTube thing, you had millions of viewers, hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Why do you think, in your opinion, you know, nobody holding you to nothing, but that they selected you for, you know, to be abducted? Like, honestly.
I always felt you know what? I'm gonna tell you some things that I've said this before. You know, I'm gonna say it again. I remember when I was a kid, I told one of my teachers I wanted to go down in history like Malcolm X. I had a 6th grade teacher named Ms. Rozak. I said that to her. I wanted to go down in history like Malcolm X and make history. You know, and something in me just always wanted to leave a mark in history. So whatever that is in me, and that spirit that was connected to that, maybe that's what they saw. On top of the fact, you know, from what I was told during one of my interactions, is that I was super intelligent, so it was easier for me to receive a neurological upgrade, so that way I could like channel or process information faster because I already had the ability to retain it. Yeah. You know, so it just made sense, you know, to utilize me. And then also maybe because I didn't know my life as a youth would be that difficult, you know? But maybe they felt like since my life as a youth was difficult, I was hardcore enough to be used. Yes. You know? You never got know, you know? Those are just my guesses.
Yeah, kind of like a rite of passage almost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You have it rough so you could really have some appreciation on the flip end of what what you've been blessed with.
I just remember, like I think my first time I ever got abducted, I think I was like 5 or 6. I used to always wake up with nosebleeds. But outside of that, you know, it happened throughout my life growing up, and really more so, like a lot of people will play games and be like, you know, did I ever get touched in jail? Is that what I'm referring to? But I could look you in the eyes and tell you, I ain't never been touched in jail. And like I said, no disrespect to Houston, but the closest I ever came to some crazy shit that I didn't even realize until I got the fuck out of jail was when I got down here. You feel what I'm saying? That's some Harris County shit. But other than that, I ain't never in my life seen or heard no gay shit throughout all of the jails I've been in. I ain't never even had a cellmate. It's actually illegal for you to have a cellmate. I've been in nothing but maxes. You feel me? So the only bunkmate I ever had was Earl Moss. And that was on an open dorm. It was me, him, his nigga named Mustafa, and this Nigerian blood dude. I think his name was Michael. I think his name was Michael something. But long story short, yeah, that's the only time I ever even had a cellmate. You feel me? Or when I was in Wyoming, I was bunkies with a hat from New York. But outside of that, I feel like it really just happened when one day I was just tired in my cell, and I just was like, man, I'm tired of fighting motherfuckers. You know, I'm tired of just fighting this case. I'm just tired of feeling like I gotta fight all the time. Like it's just me against the whole world. But then I remember like telling myself, like, even though I'm not in the streets no more, in jail still remember me from the street, you know? So I'm like, if you press me about some shit I did, I ain't gonna be like I didn't do it, you know? So like it was like, to me, I felt like even though I'm not active, niggas ain't never forgot nothing I ever did. You know what I'm saying? So niggas is still like, yo, remember you shot me? I'm like, yeah, I remember I shot you. What's up? And we shaking. You feel what I'm saying? The niggas would be like, you shot my man. I'm like, what's poppin'? Like, I know like what it is. So I felt like, cause I ain't want nobody to feel like they seat me in jail when I turn, you know? Like, so I was like, I wasn't wilding. I wasn't in there starting fights. But if you happen to see me and I shot at you, I shot at you. Like, you know, I got to fight you now. So long, it is what it is. But I remember one day I was in my cell and I just was telling myself, I'm like, man, whatever the is up there, that's righteous, you know? That's not a demonic or a deceptive or a trickery spirit. You know, I just put it out there in the ether, in the universe, and I remember just saying, like, man, when I come home, I just want to be able to live a righteous life. You know what I'm saying? I just want to be able to live a righteous life, whatever the that may be. If that is working at McDonald's, like, I don't give a like, as long as ain't nobody telling me when to piss and when to shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no, like, I don't think that people know what that's like. Like, I'm in a cell and you sitting outside my cell in the door watching me all day. You know, no homo. I can't even pull my piss out and piss without you looking at my like, you know, that shit give me PTSD. It's like being in a zoo. You know what I'm saying? And you just watching me all day like I'm a monkey. So that. But long story short, I just asked him like, yo, I want to live a righteous life, you know? Just whenever I get out of jail, I'm like, I ain't gonna snitch. I'm gonna fight this gun case even though it's not mine. I'm gonna fight it. My minimum was 3.5. My max was really 5, but it say 7, you know, but 5. But I'm like, I'm gonna fight my case and whatever happened. But I'm like, whenever the I get out of jail, I just want to live a righteous life. And I'm telling you, I remember feeling this frequency come over my chest. That felt like the Iron Man light. That's the best way I could describe it. And then ever since then, it's just been me and spirit.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, I remember, I don't know if you had just got out and your video came across my screen, my timeline or whatever you call it, and you didn't even, your dress was like short.
Yeah.
So, you know, I ain't gonna lie, so I look at a lot of, like, the way you used to convey a lot of information. You used to give, like, classes. You used to drop gems and just, in shorts. You had a lot of attention at that time. And, like, sometimes, like, I read the comments of some of the interviews that you do, like, presently. And people be like, man, I miss that old Pharaoh. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, people want to know, like, what happened? What happened? What made you change styles? And you know, divert from what kind of got you your most, you know.
I wouldn't say I'm diverted, but I would say I'm not about to. It's for me. It's a safety precaution. You know, it's just things in my life that I've been through that other people have not been through, to where they might feel that me doing things in a certain manner is worth my life being in jeopardy, to where I don't, you know? Like, I feel like, shit, I'm going to start doing lectures, but let me get settled in Costa Rica first, and let me be able to get a nice broadcasting studio and really broadcast this shit like the news, to where I can not only do the news, but I can also give presentations. You know what I'm saying? As an investigative journalist. But I feel like I need a break. I'm tired. Y'all not the ones staying up, but you ever stay up for 4 days in a row? No, the you didn't. You know what I'm saying? Face breaking out, doing investigating. No, you didn't. So it's easy for somebody. It's easy for you to tell me you miss me to do what the fuck I was doing, but you don't want to respect the labor and the physical, and the physiological sacrifice of what the fuck I'm doing. My diet getting thrown off, my circadian rhythm getting thrown off. I'm breaking out. I'm staying up 4 days in a row. It's taking a toll on my intimacy relationships. You know what it's just like my whole life is on pause to do a job for a community that in reality people to this day saying they just now heard of me. So despite how long I've been doing it, so that's a factor. Then for 2, I don't got time to be on no stage for somebody yell, get your hand out my pocket. You know? So I feel like that. It's easy for y'all to say that because you ain't the one that got to get up there. I've been up there by myself the whole time. I done got my win. I done defeated every damn government you could think of. I done caught everybody. What the more y'all want me to do? I done dodged in a couple assassination attempts. I didn't dodge. I'm back in good health after being drugged. It's like I didn't took every hit you could possibly take. I just want to break. You know what I'm saying? I just want to break, and I'm going a different route because it's a route that where everybody could win. Everybody could win. I'm trying to avoid World War III right now because I'm the one with all the evidence against everybody, and I think it'd be better for me to just open up a bank and make sure everybody could build their shit around the world, and we build our in synchronicity with Japan. Specifically, I choose Japan because not only am I well versed in Black history, I'm well versed in Asian history because they synchronize, but I'm also versed in Caucasian history, and I'm the well versed Black historian in the world, so I'm the one that got to do this. But for two, Japan rebuilt itself after they dropped a bomb on it. In 25 years, I did all of this shit in 5 years on parole. So imagine what I could do with the proper architecture professionals and the proper engineers from Japan and the proper technologists from Japan if I could have them help me with the developments of my applications and my inventions, and help me buy real estate property and build up the Black community. You know, we won't have to worry about redlining and shit like that because we'd be going through Japan. You know what I'm saying? So all of the systematic racism put out there by the Caucasian, no disrespect, that shit would be completely eliminated because we going through Japan. Our shit would be protected by Japan. No disrespect to Black Wall Street, but they got bombed the fuck up because they went and brought everything but what the fuck they should have brought. You know what I'm saying? Even in the Middle East, they might have the most sophisticated equipment, but they at least got something that shoot the fuck back if you come trying to drop a bomb.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't have. I'm gonna have Japan and Korea to protect that money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So.
And certain levels of the feds if needed. But long story short, I just feel like that's better to do. Don't you agree?
Yeah, definitely.
We going to get this money.
Yeah.
It's time to build our shit up. Ain't nobody got time to keep getting on no stage telling you to kumbaya and come together, man. Fuck all that. If you don't want to come together or you ain't come together by now, all I can say is just get that shit together by the time I get there, because ain't nobody breaking into my shit and robbing my shit. Ain't nobody vandalizing my shit. I don't give a fuck who you is or what kind of celebrity or public figure or person of importance you may be. You should be able to come in my shit and have a meal without nobody trying to kill you and rob you for your shit. So I just feel like whatever got going on out there, just get it together before the fuck I get out there, because I ain't going for it. You know, I ain't going for it. I want people to come and have a good time and go home and get money. And anything that got to do with me is gonna be is for us to get money. So if people say, you know, why I'm going this route and they want the old young Pharaoh back, they can take their ass on I University or on my Twitch. Like, I still do things on my Twitch, but as far as with my personal time and with my life, I'm building and I'm out here juggernauting my way to the front of the line, where I have juggernauted my way to the front of the line because I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody around the world didn't drop the U.S. currency. I'm the only one not only powerful enough, but intellectually capable enough to actually hold the dollar and make the shit powerful. So if anybody had to deal with the government, with the U.S., it'd be me. Because I'm the only one capable of doing it. As well as other countries. Because Gigi don't want to talk to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Gigi don't want to. Gigi Ping don't want to talk to y'all. I don't want to talk to y'all either. So I'm the only one that could talk to Gigi. You feel what I'm saying? It's a lot of shit going on. Like I said, it's just shit going on that don't know about. They ain't been to places I've been. Like, for example, some shit happened in one of them jails. You know what I'm saying? The police killed 2 Chinese brothers. They separated 2 Chinese brothers. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know who the f did it. It's the story of it. But like I said, nah, in Buffalo.
Oh, okay. But
I'm just saying, but then you got the Chinese over here in the back fighting with the U.S. and to look at the Chinese like they terrorists, but then on the back end, you don't know what the U.S. will do to you in the jail. So it's just like, it's a lot of shit going on up in the politics. You know what I'm saying? I done seen a lot of shit growing up. So long story short, all I'm saying is, I don't want to be in shit I ain't got nothing to do with or don't got to be involved in, but I'm just getting this money. I'm trying to get this money and build my community, and it's a lot of things from Asian culture that go hand in hand with us. And all of this long-winded shit I'm saying is, all of this long-winded information I'm giving, I'm coming back to Japan and say this: the reason I'm choosing Japan is the true spiritual gateway to Egypt. And if you notice, when they dropped that bomb on Japan and on Hiroshima, the only thing that was still standing was that Torii Gate.
That's right.
And that Torii Gate is the gateway between realms, the physical and the spiritual and the mundane. You know what I'm saying? So
yes,
so all of that type of like Atenism, which comes from Pharaoh Akhenaten, is the Egyptian form of Buddhism. You know, Buddha was in Egypt as well. Yeah. So I feel like, you know, if anything, I want my kids in a history class taught by a Japanese teacher way before I want them in one taught by a white teacher.
So you thinking about 10 years you'll be out of the U.S. for sure?
If it ain't no drama, I would love to come through the U.S. and build here as well. As long as it ain't no drama, but for sure you know what I'm saying? For sure I'm going to be gone if I feel like I can't live here, you know? Because it don't even got to be to my own doing. It's just the way the motherfuckers is moving in this country, you know? I ain't got time, like I said, I ain't got time to be standing by nobody and have my life physically or mentally inflicted upon negatively because I'm standing by the wrong motherfucker, you know? I ain't got time for that. So I feel like, yeah, for sure I'm going to be in Costa Rica building my palace and building my bank and spreading my wealth. And I would like to be able to reach over here and build the communities over here and, you know, build apartment complexes and things like that and use alternative forms of energy to run them, you know? Yeah. It's a lot of shit I got planned. I got a whole redevelopment project for the Makoko slums in Nigeria. It's like I already got this shit ready to go. I got a lot of shit ready to go. I got a lot of movie shit ready to go. Yeah. You know?
You mentioned you got inventions, so you still.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. Like I'm ready to go. I got this shit ready to go. So really I just need motherfuckers to get out my way and let me do me, you know? So it's like either I'm going to Costa Rica. I mean I'm going to Costa Rica, but also I definitely got it. Like Africa is for guaranteed. That's automatic. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't feel the need to always shout out Africa because that's guaranteed. Africa know I rock with Africa. But I got to shout out Japan because no matter where the fuck I get a piece of property, I got to get something in Japan. I got to get something in Japan. No matter where I open up my bank, I got to have a branch in Japan. And all I'm going to say is my setup is going to be my setup is powerful. It's going to be powerful for the physical note and the physical dollar, whatever that may be. And it's going to be powerful for the digital if needed. And I already got the plug. Like I said, my jeweler is a Jew. I ain't got to worry about no gold resources. So.
Do you think they're about to crash the U.S. dollar? You think
But the U.S. dollar could crash just like any dollar could crash if you stop dealing with it.
That's true.
But I'm the only one that could save the U.S. dollar. And my original plan was to buy the materials needed from Donald Trump to build the black community. So that way, no matter how we fix our communities around the world, the Caucasian would benefit through the U.S. dollar. So it would be no reason for you to assassinate me or eliminate me for trying to build my community because your ass is benefiting because I'm buying the materials from you. And that shouldn't be a problem because you the one that f***ed it up. So, you know, some way, somehow, you could still be the good guy in this one, some way, somehow, and allow me to fix it up. But either way it go, give me a Japanese architect, whatever I need from them, I could get it. Whatever I can't get from them that I might need, I should be able to get it through Trump.
Well, it's interesting you say that, but you've not mentioning like getting it from no black.
Well, it all depends on if black people have it or not. Yeah. It ain't about I ain't mentioned this shit that I want they might not have.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? The shit that I want black people might not have. And from the few black inventors I have seen, they under pressure. They getting they sabotaged in the middle of the night. Like I ain't trying to know. I need to be with people that's not under no pressure with their technology. You know, like Korea.
Yeah.
Korea ain't under no U.S. pressure. You know. I love to go over there and talk to Kim Jong-un and build with Kim Jong-un and help advance some of them Buddhist temples or however they live in. Like I would love to go to China, you know what I'm saying, and go to other countries and build and get it in. Russia, Africa. Matter of fact, Julius Malema, I think that's his name. I with Julius Malema. Him, some Middle Eastern Arabians, I can't think of their name, in China, they all talking right now about this BRICS movement. I'm f***ing with the BRICS movement. I'm f***ing with the BRICS movement. Get me up in there. I know some Arabs. I know Cook and Mo. I know Muhammad and Ali from Sherman and City. That's something. Yeah. So long story short, I would love to go over there.
Yeah, it's more countries than join the BRICS. From Argentina, Mexico, Canada. It's like, you know, it's looking pretty bleak for the United States. I'm thinking that
everybody tired of the racism, man. Everybody tired of it. Everybody around the world is tired of that. And mainly we tired of it in the courtroom. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's different. Like on the street, you might could call me the N-word. I might could call you the C-word. We can get a fair one and go to that don't work like that in no court. You feel me? You will rip a whole life up for the next 30 years down the line, making a racist decision in that courtroom, or making a bias or a prejudice decision in that courtroom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It ain't supposed to be no prejudice up in there, because everything is like, every time that gavel bang, that's a life-altering decision, even if it was for 2 weeks. You know? You could put a motherfucker in jail for a week. You don't know what the fuck happened in a week. It ain't got to be a year. All it take, like I said, you would be then walked into a facility and that shit would be in the middle of a damn riot. Like, you don't know what the f going on in these county jails. You can't see in there. You don't know what the f going on in these holding centers. You can't see in there. You be then walked in that motherfucker. You don't know what the f going on. So, like I said, man, everybody just tired of the crookedness.
We've reached our boiling point, you think?
Yeah, I mean, I've been reached mine, but it's like I'm not an uncivilized being.
Yeah.
I could riot and tear some shit up, but why when I could just get away from it and build my own and f with who f with me?
Facts.
You don't want to let me buy nothing, cool. You don't want to let me do nothing, cool. You don't want to clear my shit, cool. You don't want to f with me, cool. China would. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to let me live the way I want to live, cool. You feel what I'm saying? That's just as simple as, like, I'm not a woman beater. I would not advocate for somebody to beat a woman or beat a child. But if I can't pop my child when they doing wrong, if I can't reprimand my woman when she doing wrong, but you can, then she gonna always run to you knowing that she doing wrong.
That's right.
And then it's like, the government ain't my dad.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't my f***ing dad. Like, don't step into my life and try to tell me what regulate my shit. Because in reality, I'm running this shit better. I'm running Odd Nation better than the they running anything over here that's being ran. So I say that to say, it's just people just want peace, man. They just tired of motherfuckers from the U.S. buttoning people business. They tired of the shit. They just tired of the police corruption. They just tired of it. But it ain't even just the U.S. I think everything around the world. Like, I expose Hinduism. You see some Hindus just went to jail for human sacrifice. But if you remember, I did a lecture like 3 years ago exposing that shit.
That's right.
So like I said, it ain't even just the U.S. or maybe even all of the U.S., but it's just corruption around the world. People is tired of it. And it's like, either
do you think the world would ever swallow a red pill? Do you think the truth would ever just be exposed? Like, you know, a lot of the things you've given lectures on, from the government, the presidency, a lot of different subjects.
I mean, I think it's been exposed already. You know, I've been told by the master sergeant in the military, they already watched every single video I ever made. So, you know what I'm saying? I believe the truth has been exposed already. You know, a lot of the shit that I brought up, only motherfucker I don't see in jail yet that I spoke on is Anderson Cooper. You know what I'm saying? And people like that in the deep, but it is what it is, you know. But long story short, I feel like a lot of shit been exposed already. It's just the point now of whether it's exposed or not, as far as certain people's lives go, what could you do? You know? What could you do? Your life still goes on. So the real question is, are you going to play the role that you need to play to contribute to the betterment of humanity? You know? It's like we could talk about human trafficking all day, but unless you the police or you the military or the CIA or some form of militia, you ain't got no motherfucking pull anyway. You know, if you a regular citizen, you ain't got no, you can't do shit anyway. You know what I'm saying? So long story short, I just feel like, man, is everybody gonna play their role so that we can all build and make the world a better place, and everybody could, I mean, be free in their own rights and beliefs, or not?
Young Pharaoh.
Yes, sir.
We talked about something a little earlier about how the government has really kind of like plotted, and it's a long-term plan to kind of like even kind of steal our woman from us. You know, they rely on them, you know, as a like place like daddy, most of them, some of them.
Right.
So do you think, in your opinion, do the black woman still love the black man?
I don't know, to be honest with you.
You know, just the state of affairs that's going on with it, seems like it's a tit for tat.
I think people just need to realize that certain generations of people was just raised wrong. You know, some people are devious and evil in their calculative means, but some people just was genuinely raised to believe that wrong was right. You know, so I feel like we got to realize that it's still parts in the world where slavery was going on in the world. Slavery was still going on in this country. Imagine white people telling us that slavery ended in this year, but the feds and motherfuckers busting for still doing slavery on back roads. Like, they got hospitals where they give birth to unregistered children and do all kinds of shit. You know what I'm saying? So I just felt like, what was my point? Yeah, I just feel like we just gotta deal with each other as we. It's like I said, like let me break this down. Like, if you in jail, right? Like, let's say you get sent to a prison. Like I said, you don't know where the fuck you would go. You would be sent on the gallery. It'd be nothing but Chinese motherfuckers. Like, you never know who the fuck is in the jail. You know. So you might not even speak the language. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been times I done been on galleries where, nigga, the majority of the gallery is Spanish. I don't even know what the fuck they saying. So I'm really communicating by eyes. You know what I'm saying? And by body language. Like, I'm going to let you know I ain't going to steal from you through my body language. If you hungry and I see you hungry but you don't speak English, I'm going to make sure that my body language lets you know I'm not a threat. So I say that to say, especially when you in America or parts where there's lots of white people and black people living together, that's how the fuck we got to deal with each other. Because you don't know how a person's life really was, you know?
That's true.
It's like Queen Elizabeth. I just helped get her knocked off. She was a reptilian. But in reality, how long do we know how long she been on the planet?
Wait, you say you got help get her knocked off?
Yeah.
What, can you elaborate? What do you mean?
I snatched that veil. And made a very calculative, strategic. It made very calculative and strategic in the moment decisions that help, you know, lead to the, let's say, the proper assault. You know, not just on her, but a lot of elites that's been captured. You know what I'm saying? But long story short, lighter please. I say that to say, yeah, she was a extraterrestrial being, and it ain't no telling how the fuck long she been here. You know what I'm saying? The being that tried to body snatch me I believe was a malevolent reptile. You can ask David Icke about that type of shit. But long story short, I was just like, we don't know. We don't know if the motherfucker that we looking at is 1,000 years old, 500 years old. All we know is you said this bitch been here since this, you know? But we don't know if this bitch been here just feeding off. If you feeding off children and stay youthful, how long the can you do that?
That's right. You can fake your death and pop back out later.
And pop back out, yeah. So if you could clone the motherfuckers like this, just like the technology is so advanced, the level of deception is just, you know, crazy if you don't catch it. But long story short, it's like, I think we just need to deal with each other as we run into each other across the world if we unfamiliar. Because like I said, you'll run into a motherfucker that was raised on a modern day slave ranch. They have no concept of, like, we grew up with phones, you know. We just got to remember it's people in the world that ain't never seen a phone.
Thanks.
That's normal to us, but you got people. It's to me that's, you know, like, it was like the damn with some that I had just got put on 2 years ago. Never knew you could do. Like, you could hover your phone over the thing in the store and, you know, digital wallet.
Yeah.
To me, that was like, oh, but to people that was like, nigga, we been doing it. So I just feel like, man, our concept of time once again got to become cyclical, you know? Like, not just Egyptians teach it, but Buddhists teach it, you know? Like, the only time we got is now, you know what I'm saying? Past, present, and future is just a concept of what you're doing within infinity, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just points within infinite space to calculate what you've done. So I say that to say, man, you know, we just got to deal with each other as we run into each other and be honest about our life experiences if we really gonna fix this shit. You know what I'm saying? To be honest about how the we was raised and what's really going on if we gonna fix this shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I can say. You know, genuinely as a suggestion, that's all I can say.
All right, Pharaoh. I wanted to ask you a question about, like, the conscious community, and not on the messy vibe at all. Just like, cause we kind of like even if you don't really associate with it, you grew up like you are a part of that era. Like you are a staple within the conscious community, if you want to be there or not. You know what I'm saying? So do you think that the conscious community as we knew it back then is dead? Like, do you think that, some of the conscious leaders have like killed the vibe of the conscious community? And do you think it could ever be revitalized again?
If anybody was gonna revitalize it or could revitalize it, it'd be me. But I ain't gonna lie, I don't really want to deal with that shit. You know? I don't really want to deal with that shit. I don't really want to go to New York and deal with that shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't like going places where I'm not accepting it. I just feel like the level of just violation and disrespect just been too high. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't put in too much work on the CIA level for to ever play with me like I would go for that, you know? So I just feel like I see a lot of now, like no disrespect. Like I remember when I got it and why I got into it with Hassan Campbell. You know, so he might want to give me shout outs now, and that's cool because I'm not for drama, because drama and money don't mix. But I remember all the little things in the back of my head. Like I remember all the little sucker shit people used to do to me my whole entire life. Let alone a group of motherfuckers that was calling my parole officer every chance they got, trying to get me locked the fuck up, that was calling events, sabotaging events, that was calling colleges, fucking up my speaking engagements. You know what I'm saying? Sabotaging my career and my bag the entire time. I would never go over there, you know what I'm saying, and be like, the next time I go over there, in reality, I probably would be to shot that motherfucker up. So I'm like, I need not even go the fuck up in there. You know, yeah. I'm just ready to go to Costa Rica and ready to go to Japan and build my and them could figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Them could figure it out. In reality, I would have never been over there if, for one, a friend of mine at the time didn't ask me to go in there and ask a group of people why they wasn't responding to his kite, and then for two, if I wasn't invited out there. You know? Yeah. But it's like, don't invite me nowhere and try to jump me. Don't invite me nowhere and try to humiliate me. Like, don't invite me nowhere and try to play me. That. So no, I wouldn't go. Like, I'm ready to go to Japan, because in reality I'm the one that know everything, they not. So what the fuck I gotta go over there and make somebody else's platform hot? Yeah. If they want that vibe, they better get their ass on my Twitch. Because I could still give information and knowledge while I travel the world and turn up and do me. Y'all could get that same feeling while I'm in Japan teaching y'all about Oda Nobunaga. You could get that same feeling when I finally go to Egypt and teach about, Pharaoh Akhenaten and how that intertwines with Japan, and how this is the Japanese flag and why they got the sun on their flag and all of that. In the millennial, lineage of samurais, and why they say in order to be a samurai you gotta have African blood, and that's a law. Just all of that. You feel me? It's so much more I got to teach other than to be arguing with about Christianity and like that. I'm not with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to argue with Christians about Jesus. Like, I'm not. Like, I'm ready to. I'm on some other shit.
Yeah, I understand. Like, totally, man.
Yeah.
Like, it gets a time where it was good while it lasted, but I don't really think it can be revitalized since you put it in that sense, because right now we have bigger things to worry about.
It's time to build for real.
Like, seriously.
And I'm ready to celebrate my success. Finally. I'm ready to turn up and celebrate my success. I'm ready to do my thing. I'm ready to, my shit is on the way, but until then, I'm ready to do reality TV. I'm ready to do a lot of shit. Movies, Power Rangers. I'm ready to do a lot of shit and put, not like a conscious, because I hate the word, but put, comedic and real black culture in the face of the kids, but in the masses. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Like that. Like that. You feel what I'm saying? I'm ready to become an action figure that little black boys could play with. That's really hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm ready to. What's the word? Like, I don't want to be like that token black conscious guy, but kind of like what Bruce Lee was for Chinese kids. He did the Black Hornet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm ready to go do that type of shit. While I'm still physically able. Because I ain't gonna say what I can and cannot do. As long as I got the money and the space, I should be getting healthier and stronger as I get older, so they say. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. But long story short, right now, while I know for a fact I got a little more Jackie Chan up in me, I'm ready to go do what the fuck I got to do. You know what I'm saying? And get this real life, proper black man image in front of these kids, so that way we can prevail. You know, in all areas of the world that we need to, all areas of life within this world that we need to prevail in. Arguing with people about what the fuck they can or cannot prove to themselves, I ain't doing that.
Gotcha.
Hey, real tone, it's some real money in the room.